Thanks for tuning in to our bonus episode preview. This is just a short sample of this week's exclusive Patreon episode. You can hear the episode in its entirety by becoming a member at patreon.com/indoctrination, where you'll gain access to all of our exclusive episodes and merchandise. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. It is so immensely appreciated. And here is the second part of the bonus episode about consent. There was a lot to cover, so I decided to split it into two different bonus episodes. Just to recap, the last point that I was making in the first part, and so if you haven't heard the first part also, please make sure to go back so that you have a sense of what this was all leading up to that we're going to talk about today. But it's important when you're learning about what something is to kind of in equal measure learn about what it's not so that you have a clear sense of it. And consent is not something that's really able to be given in cults to a great degree. Like, people in cults usually are not told ahead of time and are not able then to make a fully educated decision about giving consent for things like forced labor, things like financial exploitation. You're pressured, you're coerced into working, into being self-sacrificial, sometimes giving over your other jobs to work for the cult, often for no money. Or on top of it, then to be donating money, to be putting the cult in your will, giving over property. It really is an incredible kind of extortion along with exploitation. Something else that people don't give their consent for because they don't know it's going to be part of it is the restricted communication. And the limitations on who you can talk to and what you can say and what's allowed for you to talk about and who is allowed also to be in your circle of communication. Usually people who might question your involvement in the group are not allowed to be a part of your communication, or people who have left the group as well. And then you cannot give your consent, typically, because you don't know what's going to happen, that you're going to have controlled relationships in general. You might be pushed to separate from your partner, separate from your children. You might be pushed towards a connection with someone, a sexual relationship with someone in the group, a marriage to someone in the group. This is not something they tell you ahead of time. And also, you don't give your consent for medical neglect. There's so much about what happens in cults that is malpractice, I think. And if people were licensed, it would make it a little easier to go after them, I suppose, for medical malpractice. But still, members are discouraged or sometimes forbidden from seeking outside medical care, which is very dangerous. And you're supposed to believe, or you're supposed to pray, or you're supposed to take their magical potion to help you. And, these people, by and large, do not have medical backgrounds, and so they really cannot help you per se. And then sexual exploitation. Either you're told that you need to use your body to please the leader or other members, people in position of power. It is used sometimes within certain cults to bring new members in to use your body in that way and to not uphold any kind of boundary around access to your body. That's something that I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily agree to if they knew ahead of time that is something that they were supposed to somehow give their consent to. So there are a lot of psychological impacts of having one's consent repeatedly violated within a group. There's the development of dissociation and emotional numbing as coping mechanisms. When you think, it doesn't matter how I feel, it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what I say, and I'm being told that I agreed to this anyway somehow, you can just shut down and kind of go on automatic pilot and not speak up anymore. And also think that somehow they are able to convince you that you did agree to this just by getting involved.